Hi everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the owner of Black Cat Custom. We're going to talk today a little bit about custom gauges and some of the aspects of installing them and reasons why you might want to look at putting custom gauges in your car. Black Cat Custom has been in business for about 12 years and custom gauges is what we do. We have a durable process that we've developed, which basically means that you're going to have your custom gauge and you're going to have it for a good long time. Now, when we talk about custom gauges, there are lots of gauge upgrade possibilities out there. We're going to concentrate on the customizing aspect of it, because most of what you're going to get out there is going to be an off-the-shelf product, and there will be limited options and limited possibilities. Most of them are mass-produced, so you may not be able to get it for your car, or they won't be able to give you exactly what you're looking for. The thing with gauges in particular is that they are the most noticeable part of your car as the driver. You sit in there, you see the road, you see your gauges, you see your steering wheel. It's definitely in the top three. Swapping in a custom gauge face is not that difficult, and it's a big bang for your buck in terms of the effect that you're going to get and what it's going to cost you. For people who show their cars, it's really something that can put you over the edge as far as getting enough points to win that show. There are many instances of customers of ours who may have added a logo or may have put something in their custom gauge that the judge noticed, and that was basically the difference that put them in the show. Examples of that would be, well, as you see, there's a lot of customization here, but something like this, for example. I wanted to show you Robert's gauge, but unfortunately I don't have one, so we'll have to settle for this. But this was for a very detailed show car, and they integrated the theme with the carbon fiber and the two-tone accents and this logo, which was used prominently throughout the car. Also, the red lighting tint, and we put red LEDs behind this for an integrated package. This is another example. This is a completely blacked out gauge. Of course, when this is installed in the cluster, the window is blacked out. And what happens when you turn the lights out, all you see are the spider images. This is actually a glossy black finish with a protective coating on it, which of course would come out when you install it. When the lights come on, I'm not sure if the camera is going to show that, but there it is. And of course we did have to set up a special LED package to make that light shine through. But these are the kind of differences that really will help you in a show winning situation, and there are lots of show car people who still overlook this. This one here is another example of something that will definitely make your car stand out. This is a fully chrome gauge package, and tell me that won't make your car stand out in a show. Chrome gauges is not something you see very often. For people who maybe not show their car but just want a personalized touch for their own enjoyment, simpler things such as this, just a simple X-Runner logo in this case, or personalizing. Here we've got basically one of our standard gauge layouts, and it's been personalized with somebody's nickname. Fortunately for us, Big J spells his name with an I, so we have this to show you here today. Whatever your reasons are for whatever your specific need, there are plenty of reasons or plenty of benefits you could get from swapping out your gauge face. Most North American clusters will have clips around the outside. Removing the cover is simply a matter of progressively releasing them. Work your way around one direction. You'll find that some clusters pop off more easily from the top, while others pop off more easily from the bottom. Some clusters, Ford clusters and some European clusters, may have screws holding them together. In most cases, it's self-evident what needs to be done to remove the front cover. Now, this is the part that's a little more intimidating for people, and it's removing the needles. Now, most new cars use a stepper motor inside, and it has a positive stop, usually right at or slightly below 0. Before you remove any of the needles, you want to make a note. Make a mark, use a ruler, make a mark on the outside, use a marker or something like that. Mark it on the gauge face in an area where it won't be seen. You can use this as a reference later on when you put the needles back on. So the good thing here is that you have that positive stop. Other clusters might have stop pins. We won't deal with that in this particular video because the Solstice has a stepper motors the same as this gauge here. So now we want to remove the pointers. There are some kits that sell needle removal tools. They can be okay, but they can also cause you problems. We try to tell people about a technique. Basically, when the needle comes to a stop, the motor's got a positive stop, and you can feel it, some resistance there. You can actually force the needle past. And if you're doing this for the first time on the gauge, it's going to start to loosen the grip. So then you want to turn it and pull up at the same time, and it will release very easily. Twist and pull, kind of in an unscrewing motion, and the needles come off very easily. Just like butter. Most new clusters as well don't have any adhesive. Older clusters may have had adhesive on the back, in which case you would have to peel them off. Sometimes there will be adhesive around the edges. Old gauge face is out, and the new one goes in. Now this one is actually not a complete gauge face because we haven't put a tint in there, but it'll still work for demonstration purposes. Snaps in place. Now basically just take the pointer, put it in a straight up position, and just put it on loosely, and you can feel that tension already. So then just push the needle back, refer to your mark that you made, and line the needle up. In some cases it'll be right on 0. It's not a bad idea, once you've put these needles on for the first time, plug the cluster back in the dash, and just check that everything is pointing where it should be. It's also a good idea before you start any of this to have the cluster in the dash, turn the key on, turn the ignition to on without starting the engine, and take a picture or make a record of where the needles are pointing. For example, if your fuel tank is halfway exactly or something like that, when you put the key back on, you'll see the needle goes back to the same spot and you'll know you got it dead on. So I'm just doing this quickly here to demonstrate, but you would be lining up to your reference marks that you made. And once you have everything lined up, you can push the needle into place. You do need to leave a little bit of clearance here, at least as much as was there when you started. If you push it in too far, it's a very common mistake people make. They push the needle all the way in, and it rubs against the gauge face, and then they have problems with the needles sticking. Cover goes back on, snaps into place, and you're done. That's it. You can put it back in.